The story of Shrawan Kumar has been told millions of times. This is the story of a young boy who took care of his old parents. It's a story which carries a moral in itself. Take care of your parents, particularly so if they are elderly. It's a story with a lot of social significance. Its source is the Valmiki Ramayana. When, after dropping Ram, Lakshman and Sita, Sumantra, the charioteer, returned to Ayodhya and he found his king in delirium. Dashrath lost consciousness frequently, and even when in his senses, he bemoaned his actions. Kaushalya looked after her righteous husband patiently and tried to reassure him of Rama's love for him. Repeatedly, Dashrath expressed his grief and regret at his following Kaikeyi's dictate. He lamented. Valmiki writes, Dashrath said, "Unfortunately, I did not consult even my wise ministers over this issue. Blinded by lust and attachment, I committed an atrocious act at the instance of an evil woman. Sumantra, destiny has willed that this event annihilate our family." Addressing Kaushalya, the king moaned, "My dear wife, I know I will never come out of this ocean of sorrow that I have created for myself in the absence of Rama. As I flutter to find my wings, Kaikeyi seems to be the wildfire who has destroyed our family and kingdom. This sea of grief is the source of the unending flow of my tears. The two boons I had granted Kaikeyi are the ocean shores, and the banishment of Rama appears to be as unending as the vastness of its waters." Mark the images, mark the similes. The depth of the words expressing sorrow has to be imagined and experienced. Dashrath continued, "I want to see Ram and Lakshman and I cannot. This is the fruit of my evil deeds." Saying this, the king fainted again. When Dashrath came to his senses again after a while, he narrated certain events known only to him till now, to Kaushalya who sat by his side. "Kalyani," Dashrath said, "a man reaps the fruits of his deeds, virtuous or sinful. Only an idiot does not think of the consequences of his intended acts. I was known as a great archer. I could shoot an arrow to follow any source of sound. I was so enamored of my fame as an archer who could pierce an invisible source of sound. I did not realize that this expertise could lead to something frightful. I was yet to marry you and I was still Yuvaraj. The rains had set in and I felt charged with passion. The sky was overcast with dark water-bearing clouds, alleviating the summer heat. The elephants, submerged in ponds and enjoying the sheets of rain, were in mast. The clear waters of mountains, cataracts washing the rock minerals, were colored red or ochre by the time they reached the ground level. Their waters flowed sinuously like gliding snakes. In this joyful rainy season, I rode a chariot to the banks of Saryu in order to hunt. I was young and excited, drunk with pride as an ace archer. I was determined to kill a troublesome buffalo or an elephant in must, even a tiger. It was dark all around when I heard a sound like a pitcher being immersed in water. I was unable to see anything, but I understood this sound to be that of an elephant sucking water through its trunk. Excited that I had a fierce animal to shoot and disregarding the darkness that engulfed me before sunrise, I shot an arrow. As soon as my arrow hits its target, I heard the wail of a human being. Falling to the ground, the victim cried in agony. Who shot at me? A helpless, innocent hermit that came to the lonely shores of the river to fetch a pail of water at night? What harm have I caused anyone? Who benefits from my death? My hunter will be considered as sinful as a pupil hankering after his guru's wife. My death does not upset me as much as the inconvenience it would cause my aged parents. The hunter has killed the three of us with one shot. Dashrath continued, I reached my victim lying on the Saryu bank, his hair dishevelled and his body smeared with mud and blood. His pitcher lay waterless, his piercing eyes burnt through my body. Looking at me, he said, with one arrow you have pierced my core. You have killed my aged parents. They are blind and weak. They are thirsty and are waiting for me to fetch water. Kindly go and tell them of my death. Requesting me to pull out the venomous arrow that had led to this end, the young man continued, I was born to a Vaishya father and a Shudra mother. But he could not go beyond these words. The poison of the arrowhead was racing through his veins. His eyes were losing their luster and focus. Soon thereafter, he breathed his last in my hands. I filled the pitcher with fresh, clean water and carried it to his parents, who were waiting nearby. They looked like helpless birds whose feathers had been cut off mercilessly. They had been talking of their son. Hearing my footsteps, they asked, Son, what delayed you so long? We are thirsty. Hand over the water. My son, you are our eyes. Why are you so quiet? Say something. I stammered out of fear and explained the situation to them. I am a Kshatriya and my name is Dashrath. I have committed a condemnable sin under a wrong impression. I told them how in an instance of mistaken identity I had caused the death of their son. I accepted my fault and asked for forgiveness. Kaushalya, they mourned their loss and asked me to carry them to the spot where the body of their son was lying. All along they wailed and cried, cursing me. The old man said, Rajan, you will undergo torture similar to the one we are undergoing at present. You too shall die pining for your son. Kaushalya, I recollect their words, and I am sure I too will die pining for my Ram. I can no longer see you. Hold my hand. Like the fierce sun drying a small patch of water, the absence of Ram, whom none on this earth can equal in virtue, is sucking life out of my body. Kaushalya, it appears that I am no longer in control of my body, that I am getting detached from my senses. I am losing consciousness. I can no longer see. Tapaswini Sumitra, I am departing from this world. O Kaikeyi, the evil incarnate, heartless and vile, you have destroyed my family. You will be a widow soon. With these words, Dashrath breathed his last. Jai Ram Ji ki, Jai Ram Ji ki, Jai Ram Ji ki.